4th and short. Mayfield over the middle, and Evans makes the catch for a Buccaneers first down.
There's a matchup up top, A.J. Terrell versus Mike Evans.
Fake to Bucky Irving.
That's where
Mayfield
Baker wants to
sets.
go.
He throws. It's caught. Touchdown. Egbuka. His first NFL score. 30 yards from Baker Mayfield to Emeka Egbuka. And the Buccaneers have their first lead of the afternoon.
I just talked about the connection Baker Mayfield needs to have with Emeka.
Second down and 8. Mayfield fires over the middle, and it is caught for a first down in Atlanta territory by Sterling Shepard.
Got to be careful with the football. Take better care of it.
16 pitch last year. Mayfield using his feet. First down and more inside the 10 and finally brought down.
Watch the defense and the coverage on the back end. We'll freeze it. You'll see everybody is covered as soon as...
Mayfield on first down, throws, end zone, caught, touchdown! Egbuka with his second of the game. "25 yards from Mayfield to the rookie Egbuka. Tampa Bay with 59 seconds on the clock. Back
There's
on top.
Egbuka on the outside.
Wirtz came back to practice this week. He's getting closer. Mayfield, end zone, caught for the touchdown, Ryan Miller.
Read in the progression, you're going to see Baker as he looks to his right. He's working the right side with Sterling Shepard. He comes back, and a really nice route by Ryan Miller.
Egbuka looking for a block. Got it. Emeka Egbuka, touchdown Tampa Bay. He got the block from Charlie Heck. The veteran tackle taking over for Gedeke, and big number 77 got out there and got in the way at least and let Egbuka do the rest.
He got just enough.
10 years ago. And here he is, the National Football League, as what a throw. Mike Evans on a perfect throw from Baker Mayfield working against Stingley, and you just can't drop it in any better than that.
No, and Mike Evans able to get a little bit of separation. Wasn't a whole lot to his release. He just takes off the line of scrimmage, but he's able to create at least a little, make the one big play that they need right now.
Blitz coming off the edge with Petrie. Mayfield goes by Petrie and gets the first down. Brought down from behind. And Mayfield's hurt. And then gets in the face of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But a 17-yard carry by Baker Mayfield on 3rd down and 10.
Well, you see everybody turn and run.
Pressure off the edge. Mayfield steps through. And he's tripped up with a first down by Gardner-Johnson. To'o couldn't bring him down, and Baker Mayfield gets the big first down.
Good. You're going to see here as Baker is looking in the pressure. Here they come, and he just escapes. And everyone running in man coverage with their backs to Mayfield. They don't know that he's got the football.
Second.
The backs back at 2nd and 10. Mayfield looking for Egbuka.
Oh, what a catch.
He hauls it in. He was matched up with Sauce Gardner. What a catch made by the rookie Egbuka. Gains 30.
What an amazing catch. Emeka Egbuka going up against one of the best corners in the league. That is enough to get Sterling Shepard free.
First and goal, slant, touchdown. Mike Evans. Fake to Irving. Mayfield on first down. It is complete. And taken out near midfield by Sterling Shepard for a Bucs first down, gain of 20.
That's what I really like about Baker Mayfield. He's able to roll out left and right. Really important to know Mike Evans not in the game. Remember, he has that hamstring issue.
Second down and 7. Fake toss to Irving. Mayfield looking. Finds the marker. First down and more. Still going. And he's tripped up by the last line of defense. That was Carter as Mayfield gains 33.
This is what you love about Baker. Just look at his eyes. He's waiting. Wants to go downfield. Forget it. I'll do it myself. Tuck it and run. Hold on to the football. Get a huge first down and puts him in field goal range. So now you can start to run this clock out and then kick a field goal.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield's pass is caught. It's Egbuka. We just mentioned him in Jets territory. A Buccaneers first down at the New York 48.
And it makes sense. Egbuka has been phenomenal for Baker Mayfield and this offense. Mike Evans isn't there, so now you're going to go to your new
4-man rush. Mayfield pumps, looks, points, throws, complete. Mayfield on the run. There's Egbuka who's got the catch for first down. He has been unbelievable so far with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Egbuka just over here. He's working on DeJean across the field. I love it.
And here are the Bucs. They need something on offense. Just 2 field goals, including a 65-yarder today. Now it's Mayfield looking. Rolling. Going deep, has a man. Egbuka! He's got it! Touchdown, Tampa! From 77.
This offense, and this play wasn't designed to go for a touchdown. Let me say that. Egbuka is basically a clear out route, but Makuba, the safety, gets tied up. His eyes in the wrong place, and Blankenship can't make the play. Whoa. Threading the needle. He's basically
3-0 to this point, but in a big hole right here. Mayfield, 2nd down. Buying more time, looking, floating on far side. Oh, beauty of a pass, and he's going to go all the way. Bucky Irving, touchdown. They got a 77 and a 72-yarder.
incredible play by Baker in this offensive line, keeping the play alive. Not much rush. They're trying to cage rush him like Sirianni was so happy out coming out of halftime.
3rd and 6. Blitz. Mayfield in trouble. Steps away. Way to go for a first. Mayfield's going to get there. The scrambling legs of Baker Mayfield keeps the drive alive. How did he get out of that?
I don't know. He was caged. That rush that Sirianni talked about. Campbell, Smith.
Tight end Durham on the move. There's a block, and here comes Mayfield. He's wide open downfield. He's got his receiver. And down to the 44-yard line, that's the tight end, Cade Otton. Otton with his 7th catch of the season. 28-yard pickup down to the 41 of Seattle.
Well, first it starts with great protection. Then you clear out the outside receiver and run a flag route by the tight end.
So the Bucs take over from the 41. Mayfield to the air, 10 of 12 with time and deep, and he's got him downfield. Nice looking catch. Egbuka got the ball, working on the defense that time of Job and others in the secondary, down to the 35. It is a gain of 24 through the air.
Great recognition by Egbuka. Realize
fake to White, blocked by Wirfs. 1st and 10. Caught him downfield. That's a great catch by Tez Johnson. Strike and a first down. Mayfield right on the screws.
well, Johnson's to the outside. You have their 2 inside receivers running a deep corner and a deep post. starts with protection. That's a long developing play. You have to have time for that to happen. Good job up front.
Tez Johnson has been big, a 27-yard catch. 3rd down, 15, Mayfield. Winds up, throws, caught, touchdown! Egbuka right on the money. Mayfield with a touchdown throw. And the Buccaneers are back on top. He beat Pritchett, who has taken the place of Woolen.
Well, you're not going to see a much more perfect throw than what Mayfield just delivered there. Egbuka looking back into the sun.
A 2-point try. Mayfield. And caught for the 2 points. Grab there, Egbuka, and why not? A lot of history. In motion, Tez Johnson. Mayfield 1st and 10. Good cup and the throw right on the money. 44-yard line. And grabbed there by who else? Egbuka on the ground, makes the catch and picks up 19 on the play and a 1st down to the 44.
Can't say enough about the offensive line right now. Just giving Mayfield plenty of time to step into the throws. Look at the last couple of series these guys have had. He's had space. He's had room to step. Tough call right there with the 3rd down conversion.
They need the 46 of Seattle. 3rd and 13. Mayfield deep, and he's got Egbuka. He's got him. Caught inside the 5. Down to the 2. 56-yard throw. 1st and goal, Buccaneers.
Well, it all starts with the safety vacating.
Job was chasing him. Mayfield works the block. Here he goes on the run, chased by Murphy outside. Otton, the tight end, galloping 20. And then upended on the near side by Kobe Bryant. 25-yard catch and run down to the 20. The back is White. Mayfield to the air, works the block. Buying time into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Touchdown! It's Shepard! Sterling Shepard catches it on an 11-yard touchdown pass. They're going to go for 2.
Well, this starts with the great protection. Mayfield has plenty of time to look around. Shepard's to the outside. He's just running a fade.
Already saw him on 1st down with a catch. First play of the game. Egbuka you're talking about, and the Mayfield looking his way. It's not him, but on the sideline it is ruled a catch by Shepard. Former Oklahoma University teammate of Baker Mayfield years ago. Picks up 15, but he's short of the 1st.
What a throw, and a great job by Shepard keeping his feet in bounds. And this is what makes Tampa so. Baker's been doing an incredible job of moving defenders.
On 2nd and 10, there was a blitz and a touchdown pass as Baker reacted to the on-rusher and got rid of it in time.
Big Fred Warner doesn't matter. You're going to motion him across and go. Look at, they're going to try and communicate right here. Motion. Hey, you got anybody? Does anybody have him? Nobody has him. A busted coverage. You had a free defender coming on Baker, but you can't do that. That's what losing your leader looks like. And sometimes you got to go ahead and rally and tackle. Someone's got to break a tackle to get this 1st down.
Of course, he's got Sterling Shepard out there, his old college teammate. But he's not going to have a chance. Oh, yes, he is. He fights through the sack. Looking for 1st down yard. Oh, my goodness, he's done it again. Oh, that is pure Baker Mayfield. Absolute Baker at his best. He broke a couple of tackles. They had him for a sack. Then they had him at least 8 yards short of the 1st. He fought through them all.
This is Baker Mayfield, the original OG from Oklahoma when they started with all. Now he has a system and it's in place and they're all together. And when you win, solves a lot of stuff.
2nd and 11. Going for a big ball. Down the field. Got an open target. Oh, what a catch. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tez Johnson has his 1st NFL touchdown and a magnificent flip to go with it.
This is a simple seam route from the middle. And he's saying, hey, I'm open. He had a different route, and you have to adjust there. But Baker Mayfield's ability, he's done it many times this year.
Oh, look how he caught it.
His ability to pump fake. Now he's got the lead, though, so slightly different. You got to be protective and be smart.
Rifles it. complete to Shepard. There goes Shepard. Shepard stays in bounds and finally slips at the 50. Yeah. 36 yards.
Baker's ability to look off, slide in the pocket. I mean, just watch him. He's going to find the soft spot in the pocket, slide up, fire the ball in the middle perfectly, and Shepard does the rest. There was a play.
First time the Bucs have been across midfield on offense. And on first down, beautiful throw, and that's Tez Johnson who makes the catch. Down he goes.
You can see the route here by Tez Johnson. This is not an easy throw by Baker Mayfield as he's moving to his left, trying to get his shoulders turned to deliver a ball on the strike, on the money with the receiver who's running away from you, and yet he's able to lay it to Tez Johnson. He makes the play knowing he's about to get hit.
So far tonight, on 2nd and 7, play action, Baker. There he is, Egbuka with a big gain as he takes it into Detroit territory. Good for 18 yards with Rock Yassin across from him.
Yeah, hadn't really gotten him involved, but you know, it's good that he's back because he was questionable coming into this game. But you see the route, how he pushes up the field, and he gives a little nod as though he might just go the other direction.
Little shoulder fake. What a beautiful throw and catch as Cade Otton makes the grab. And a good start to this drive for Baker Mayfield, a gain of 20.
That's a great job by Baker Mayfield. He gives a little pump fake to hold Amik Robertson out here. And when he stays flat, it opens up that, and it's a tight window. You got to beat the safety. They've hit on some good players, some good tough players.
Here's Egbuka. Tampa Bay trying to say, don't forget about us. He's down inside the 40.
3rd down and 8. They must get to the Saints 32 for a first down. As Mayfield fires, it is caught. There is a flag. Egbuka makes the catch. First down yardage. Defense.
It really has. And you're going to look at a Egbuka coming wide open for Baker Mayfield. And this is what I talked about with Emeka and Baker. That connection is always going to be there. Like, Baker is always going to be looking for him.
Attempted 50 passes. Much different story today as they've kept it on the ground for the most part. Only 9 pass attempts for Mayfield. This is number 10, and it's a Buccaneers first down.
Tez Johnson is going to be right here, and he's going to be running one of these intermediate routes, and you see that Baker Mayfield able to put it on the money for him. Tez Johnson really good in that area. He's a little smaller. Obviously, he's not the size of Mike Evans, but he does have the quickness. He gets in and out of his breaks very, very quickly, and you see right there, that's a nice completion.
On 3rd down and 8. Mayfield's pass caught for a first down to the Saints 34-yard line by Tez Johnson. Gain of 14, his 4th reception today.
Yeah, going back to Baker Mayfield, his eyes.
And they've had some good defenses, just to give you a heads up.
Yeah. Another first down. Little play action. He's looking deep. Now comes to the right side. Egbuka is in for the touchdown. What an opening drive for Tampa Bay. Well, there's your key matchup, Tony, and it's a touchdown right at the start for Emeka Egbuka.
180.
And the fake. And the pass down the middle. He's there. Beautiful throw. And Egbuka has a big gain.
This is a dime right in the middle right here. Deep in route. He had multiple guys open, but I feel like this is set up on the first few drives, just like the Patriots did. Now, the Patriots scored on theirs. This was close. But to me, this is the cat and mouse game. When do you call your shot play and does it?
Baker from the gun. New England rushing 4. Baker steps up in the pocket. Now flush, now throws, and it's caught! It's caught on the sideline in the end zone for a touchdown. Tez Johnson.
It's great defense. Baker Mayfield extending the play, throwing a dime on the corner. He was covered, but Tez Johnson's ability to extend the play and continue to run. He was covered, and then we call it plaster. retraces, ran into the middle and came back out. This team does a great job of that.
They're going to go for two. We saw this kid, a rookie from Oregon, catch his first NFL touchdown in week 6 against San Francisco, and he even stuck the landing at the end of a 92-yard drive. Okay, out of timeouts from the 11. Baker stepping up and fires. End zone, caught. Touchdown. Tez Johnson.
What a throw.
A little heat on that.
Well, Baker has thrown some incredible throws in the fourth quarter that are just off the charts. This just added to the repertoire, but
Jar of grass. So you want to analyze the dirt. Send it to the lab. Pump fake, Mayfield. It's handled downfield by Shepard. The confidence that Baker Mayfield has, he is at that stage of his career where he has complete command. That's a 16-yard hookup.
Watch Sterling Shepard here just find a dead spot in the zone, and Baker jumps a couple times because he doesn't know if he overthrows him or not.
Character. Joni loves Chachi. The run, Mayfield. There were like 7 shake and bakes in there.
Globo Jim on the loose.
I don't know if they quote Talladega Nights, but the shake and bake from Baker.
When I talk to
Tucker in at running back. Mayfield, he's going to run it in for the touchdown. Buccaneers answer, and Mayfield chucks it into the crowd.
They run a zone read on Joey Bosa. They're going to read him. He goes down for the dive. Baker takes it. Both receivers covered. He does it himself, and then a little scorpion at the end there. If you're a Buccaneers fan, you're like, Baker, we don't need to be taking.
3rd and 12. Mayfield, deep drop. And the pass is on target to Shepard. They convert. First down, Buccaneers, 14 yards.
There's just going to be a little too deep of a drop. He actually goes past where he wants to be in the zone, and Shepard settles in very nicely for a first down, an easy target for Baker to hit.
24 seconds left on the clock. 2nd down and 2 for Tampa Bay. Trying to get into field goal range, Mayfield. That's a long pass, and it's hauled in by Shepard. First down, Buccaneers.
In field goal range already.
15 seconds left. They take a timeout. Shepard did not get out of bounds.
Timeout, Tampa Bay.
201 yards on the ground. Shotgun. Mayfield's going to throw for it, and he's got his man in stride. Sean Tucker breaks away for the touchdown. What a day!
The Sean Tucker game continues. He's in the backfield. It's only 3rd and 1. You think maybe they're going to run it just like I did. And instead, they slide him out of the backfield on a wheel route. Wide open. Baker hits him, makes a man miss. Touchdown. What a day for Sean Tucker.
Tucker is known for, but they trail by 12. Mayfield steps up. Oh, he puts some zip on it to Cade Otton. First down into Buffalo territory as he's down at the 46.
2nd and 4. Mayfield, the middle of the field. Touchdown brought in by Johnson. He is here. He is in the end zone, and his Bucks are on the board.
How about that? Tez comes right back and says, take that, Collinsworth. Here we go. Nice move. Again, setting it up inside. And this is when you're not the biggest guy in the world, it takes a little courage to make that catch right there, but all 156 pounds.
Otton in motion. Mayfield, pressure comes, floats it out for Godwin. Down the sideline, 1st and goal, Tampa Bay. He's down at the 9. Pickup of 31, the touch from Baker Mayfield to Chris Godwin.
This is a really well executed play. Great job by Chris Godwin here. He's going to come across the field. He has to get the release. We talk about that, right? That's kind of bumpy in there. And that's where he gets.
Mayfield, pressure comes. Able to get away. Mayfield on the run. First down and more. And a beeline to the sideline where he ducks out of bounds.
And why is this so important? You can look at all the guys that are walked up in there, right? You see him direct Bucky Irving right up into the middle. That's the one that gets overpowered by Cody Simon. It kind of flushes him out of the pocket. But that is the greatness of Baker Mayfield. On third down this year, 14 times he's gotten a first down.
Nope, quick snap. Mayfield on 4th and 2 over the middle. Oh, he squeezes it into a tight window. First and goal at the 9. Sterling Shepard's first catch and a big one.
This is tight to get this football in there. Look at that. You got both linebackers converging on the throw.
Otton in motion. Look for Otton, not there. Goes the other direction, and it's Tristan Wirfs. The All-Pro.
Yeah, and just dotting your T's and checking dotting your I's and checking your T's. He's on the ball, so that means Egbuka's got to be off. Everything's good from a formational standpoint. Reports is eligible. All the little things we've seen a number of times this year when you have those kind of fun plays designed, but you
3rd and 8 at the 35. Straight drop for Mayfield. Open is Egbuka. It's a first down and more inside the 45 and down at the 42. A pickup of 23 before Garrett Williams can bring down the rookie from Ohio State.
Yeah, widening out a little bit here at the corner position and not really sure why. He rolls out and you widen, and then Egbuka just comes right back inside. So Garrett Williams, just kind of having that sense.
Take it a step further and really pour their hearts into it with their family. 3rd down and 8. Mayfield up the middle. He's got to get to the 38. He's got the first down. Swerving, diving, and taken down by Rumpf. Out to the 42.
Well, the Saints decide to bring a blitz, and by bringing a blitz, they don't leave anybody assigned to Baker Mayfield, and he takes advantage of it. Watch the blitz coming here. You're going to see a drop out here. It looks like they're going to but they try and get that matchup. A good pickup by the protection of the Buccaneers. And
today is 250th game played. Here comes Mayfield. 3rd down, 8, running again as he always does so effectively on 3rd down. Finds refuge on the sideline. First down run, Baker Mayfield. 16-yard on 3rd and 8. Move the chains. He has been a magician when called upon to run effectively.
Well, the thing is, he's not the fastest guy at quarterback, but he's effective in the way he's able to utilize it and pick up first downs, and he's just so as we've described him earlier in this game, he's very...
They got some guys that can get after the quarterback now. They don't always have to blitz.
Yeah, that's 6 straight games with a sack for the rookie. Mayfield fires open, caught, flag thrown though. Egbuka comes up with it at the 20-yard line. Atlanta said, no, it's going to be on them.
Here, because all the receivers are hurt, he got some chances, made the most of it, but in the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's had some drops, and this is a huge play for him. He's going up against one of the top corners in the NFL. Bake still believes in him, told us that he would. Second flag on Terrell, but a great catch by Egbuka, and good to see the smile there.
Another Ohio State product. 19th overall pick in the draft. Fired over the middle. Caught! Does he get in? The officials come in to see where it's spotted just outside.
With Godwin and McMillan, let's make sure does he extend and get it across. Boy, it's right on the line. Boy, is that close.
Irving back in there, fake to him. Mayfield deep down the right side. That's hauled in at the 33-yard line.
Release this football, and wait till you see McMillan, who hasn't played this year. Look at this. Now we'll go ahead and throw. Watch it. Watch this. He's still running his route. That ball is past halfway in the air, and the timing with the receiver that hasn't played all year, week 15.
10 penalties. It's 1 every 3 minutes. Mayfield. Deep down the left sideline. Got a man wide open. Tackled to the 26 and then getting out of bounds. Mike Evans.
Switch. Now they got the matchup they want. Getting him, and he loses his balance there. Goes down. And a good ball. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football.
Play action. Ton of time. Fire. Hauled in. Up at the 44-yard line.
Great rookie year, but the last few games has had some drops. People been on him, maybe got into his head a little bit. But tonight we've seen him getting back to how he looked early in the year. Good, solid route. And by the way, you're going against D. Alford, who's one of the top slot corners.
Mayfield now 11 of 21 for 173 off the fake, going deep downfield for Evans. He's got it. He and Bryant against each other. It's almost a no contest situation.
Welcome back. But this was not a gimme. Kobe Bryant, to his credit, held on here. Got a hand in there, and I think the ball got away from Mike Evans. Watch this. He has to take it back away from Kobe Bryant. So usually he high points the ball, but with those long arms, Bryant gets in there and defends it pretty well. But that's why he's Mike Evans. Great concentration.
Second down and goal. Four-man rush. Pass. Caught. Touchdown. Devin Colt. He is the would be number 3 tight end. And with Cade Otton down, that is the first touchdown by a tight end for the Bucs this season.
Yeah, unbelievable. And he's got that kind of skill. This is pretty easy. Pretty good read here. I mean, of course, the big tight end Pitts.
Drive starts from the 10. Mayfield throws. Evans. Back shoulder makes the grab. The time he beat Terrell.
And there's really not much more A.J. Terrell can do here. He's in phase. But where this football is thrown and the chemistry you have there with Baker Mayfield and the size and hands of Mike Evans, look where he puts his ball. And Terrell.
Tucker's already been into the end zone once tonight. Here's the pass. Hold in. Chris Godwin for the touchdown. So the Bucs finally getting everybody healthy, and it's paying off tonight.
Yeah, so many different weapons. A.J. Terrell was kind of...
White is the running back. Stays in the block. Flares out. Pass into the end zone. And that's Godwin again. All 8 points.
Throwing for the end zone, Mike Evans. Touchdown, that's a Buccaneer touchdown. When you get one-on-one coverage on Mike Evans, Baker said, I'm going there.
Well, this is it right here. I mean, one-on-one, I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm taller than you, and guess what?
Blitz is on, everybody's coming. Mayfield will get out of it. He's got plenty of room to get the first down, and he's going to cross midfield and go down the sideline, churning to the 40. Boy,
he has got so much energy. Talking to Mike Evans about Baker Mayfield, he said, man, this dude just plays. He is in it for all of his teammates, plays hard, plays tough. He's just a competitor, and you can see it every time this guy takes the football field, man.
Does Mayfield have time to throw? He does, and oh yes, Egbuka has it. They've been trying to get him the ball. He just haven't been able to get open. His first catch of the game.
Well, Egbuka is just coming through the middle of the football field, and you look at 8 right there. J.C. Horn's got a sink on that, but he gets on the edge.
Second down 4. He's going to get out of it, and Baker's going to run and keep on running across the 30, across the 40, and out of bounds. What a play by Baker Mayfield.
We've talked about Bryce Young doing this. Great Baker Mayfield attacking back in here off the game. Watch him work right back by A'Shawn Robinson and then just take off down the field to give themselves that big gain. Out of bounds, stopping the clock. Just such a smart play by Baker, putting his offense on his back.
Third down and 7 for Tampa Bay. Mayfield sets, throws, and it's caught for a Buccaneers first down. It's McMillan at the Miami 21, an 18-yard connection.
Look how much time Baker Mayfield has. He hasn't seen that in a while where people aren't.
Second down and 13. Mayfield over the middle. It's a diving McMillan. That's his third catch. And it's a first down for the Bucs.
Looks almost like a repeat of the previous play McMillan caught, sliding in. Baker Mayfield puts it low and away, out of harm's way, so either McMillan is catching that, it's going to be incomplete, but he's not going to take a big hit.
Third down and 4. Mayfield throws.
Nice.
End zone. Touchdown. Chris Godwin.
That was a beautiful route by Chris Godwin. They bring him back in, really good at pass protection as well.
Third down and 5. Mayfield, Evans. Buccaneers first down. First catch of the game for Mike Evans as the Bucs move the chains.
Yeah, Mike Evans, Baker Mayfield, they've done this so many times, right? And you're just going to watch this 7 route going. Nice little high-low. They're working that corner. They want to have a run or try to make a run in the playoffs.
Brian Burns is having an outstanding season for the Giants, second in the league in sacks. Pump fake on second down. Mayfield throws. McMillan makes the catch. Jalen McMillan playing in only his 3rd game this season, coming off the neck injury.
Here's Jalen McMillan, the bottom of the screen, going against Jack Jones. Jack Jones thought that, hey, everything's fine, right? The pump fake, Baker Mayfield was looking in the middle of the field. And then all of a sudden, Baker Mayfield gets out of there, sees McMillan down the field.
Oregon, Texas Tech, and then the national championship in January. Pass is caught by Tez Johnson for a Buccaneers first down, 17 yards to the Dolphins 30.
And that is a very nice job by Baker Mayfield. What you're watching is him having a pump fake, and you see Rasul Douglas, he's staying low. They keep staying low, these corners, and that's because Baker Mayfield gets an easy completion.
In Dolphins territory now, Mayfield able to stay on his feet. Looked as if he was going to be sacked, and then he finds his man Evans. Irving in the backfield, 4th and 1. Pass is complete, and it's a first down for Godwin. Shoved out at the Dolphins 38. So the Tampa Bay Bucs move the chains and keep this possession going.
Let's just watch Mike Evans, as frustrated as he can be, and look at the way that he did just enough to get the block of Rasul Douglas and spring Chris Godwin.
Have started each and every game.
Right. Remember, he battled bone bruises, shoulder injuries, but finds himself out there playing.
Pass complete, Godwin. And Godwin is out across the 40, midfield. And finally chased down from behind. Tackle made by Willie Gay after a 59-yard catch and run.
As well as the defense has played all.
First and goal from the Dolphins 4. Mayfield throws, end zone, touchdown, Evans. Wow, that was quick.
My thoughts exactly, Kenny. There's Mike Evans, and then what he's going to do is move inside just to break back outside. Goes in, goes out, and busted coverage again. So you have 2 mental errors.
Mayfield from the pocket, swings it across the middle, touchdown, Cade Otton. And Tampa Bay right down the field on first blood. Nice run pass mix.
It's a really good job by Cade Otton. Understanding the coverage. This is a seam. Stay vertical, just bend a little bit away from that corner before that safety gets there. And Baker Mayfield, what a start.
After that opening drive, some things to clean up and pressure up the middle. Mayfield has to back off, but he finds Evans. A flag is down in the secondary as Evans worked free.
By Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, you got all-out pressure. He gets contact. Of course, Mike Evans fight through it, but the throw by Baker, fading away from pressure, just perfectly placed to the Hall of Famer.
You see how he anticipated that throw. He knows he was getting max pressure.
No hurry here. You're right. They've got all 3 timeouts. Mayfield on the move here, stepping up, trying to create. Still scanning the field. So he got the ball. And now finally throws it down to Otton. Otton banged out of bounds at the 31. That play took about 30 seconds to unfold.
Unbelievable.
That's just Baker being Baker.
Is he going to be? Is he going to be behind the line of scrimmage on the throw? I think.
But the awareness, Dan.
Oh, unbelievable! It's just how many times does he stop and start? There's that. Remember that ball is a legal forward pass. What a play by Baker.
On the move on second down, Mayfield pitches it downfield and wide open is Tez Johnson. They left him alone. Catch in to Carolina territory, picked up 17.
Yeah, that's a really good job. Lewis, you talked about these keepers when the guy's coming slicing across the line of scrimmage. Mike Jackson has eyes on the tight end, and then Tez Johnson